guys, here I am, out in the forest. We're gonna test ride the Samsung Galaxy S23. Oh, I already test run it, but now we're gonna test run it like vlogging outside. So you guys get a picture of how it is to vlog with it, and how good it is, and how great it is, and how good the sound is, and how good the quality is, and how good the weather is. And look at this view here. It's awesome with all the snow that came this night. I love it, isn't it? Great with snow. Anyways, I am an iPhone dude. Let's start with that. I'm an iPhone dude. I'm not religious, but I'm just an iPhone dude that love iPhones, mainly because of the photo function. So convince me it's not easy. It really is not, because I think iPhone is the best of the best when it comes to photo. Or that's what I thought, until I stepped on this one.
Right guys, here we have the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra on the table. And it's not so much on the outside that is different to the previous version, but on the back side it is. The square is gone that protected the lenses, so now you have the lenses there all open in there. But I guess Samsung thought about it and made those glasses more reliable. It comes with a USB cable, and that's pretty much it in the box. But inside this one you have 8K.
Back in the days I had a Samsung vlog camera. It was called vlog camera. It was a cheap little camera, but it was sublime quality. I always thinking like, why didn't they brought that one into the phones? It was so great with that little camera, with all the functions they had. I think this one was like back in 2014 or so. It was like a white camera with a flip screen, and you have all that into it. I think it cost like, I don't know, 200 euros or so. I think I bought it for, but it was a great camera. And I thought Samsung really had something going on there, but then they spoiled all the cameras and didn't do them anymore, and they started to do it only with the phones, and they converted the phones into cameras, but they really didn't convince me that they were better than the iPhones. And I thought it was kind of sad that they didn't brought in the same technique they had from that camera into the phones, because if they did back then, they would be world leading. They would be. But well, iPhone took the first base there and yeah, knocked them over. And since then I've been using iPhone for photo, because every time I tried something else I was so disappointed that it didn't keep up the quality. And I also wanted to have something that I could rely on. Like, if I'm going to do a fast vlog, I could use the iPhone. It was really easy. It also had good apps. But that's not the problem anymore. So let's talk about the Samsung and why I love it so much. Because I'm going to leave iPhone for the Samsung S23 because it's so great. The fact that I'm vlogging with it right now and the sound quality is great. I'm just like 1.5 meters from the camera. It's quite far, and even though it sounds really near with the mic, and it's perfect sound. You don't need to have an extra external mic to use to get this sound. It's so good. And also you have all this filming function, UHD, you have 8K even, and 8K is awesome. We're going to talk about more about that in the studio, not here. With all these filming functions, you are unlimited, and the quality that comes with it is so great, even in darkness. I was spending like 1.5 hours outside just taking pictures in the dark. Makes this phone perfect camera. So it's not a phone anymore, it's actually a camera, a pro camera. The only difference is that I got log on my Sony, so I can, film and log. That's what I like to do, but you can't do that. The camera in this phone is so good that it actually is a camera, not a phone. So I will use this one specially just for camera. Phone is no. Who talks in a phone these days? I don't do. I chat or do emails actually. Alright guys, let's jump into the studio and talk more about the filming functions that we got there, and what they are good for and what they are not good for, and why your computer is struggling with it. So yeah, let's go inside and talk about it, because it's freezing cold out here. Actually, about my hands. Even if I have so much hands in my video, I should keep up the warm, but well, no. It's really cold. So yeah, let's jump into the studio. Let's do it there. See you. Throw that away. Here it is, the box from Samsung. It comes here, the Galaxy S23. That little monster comes in this big box. So what's inside here? I can show you. It's a map about the nebula. It's here. This is a nebula, I think. And Samsung means 3 stars, that's why the stars. But also the key feature of the phone is always the night shot of the moon. You have it in here. You have it in the previous version of Samsung as well, the 22. we could take this sublime crispy shot of the moon. It's awesome, but I don't know how much I will use that function really, so I'll leave that aside. There are other guys doing that as well. Inside this box it came with a candle that's here, I used it, and also matches. And you're thinking like, why in the world do they put in matches and a candle? Do they want to light up my house? No, they want to convince you that night shots is a really good thing for Samsung. Check this out. You saw how nice it was. It was totally super nice. Speaking of night shots, the night shot function with still pictures is good. It's so good. I spent like over 2 hours outside just taking pictures of stuff in the darkness. It was so much fun. You can see them here. They are really casual, but you get a point. I haven't edited them afterwards. I just put them straight out on the phone, straight here in your face. You can see them here. It's really casual stuff going on here. And it's only JPEGs. I didn't use the RAW function. I didn't know how to actually set the RAW function, but now I know it's a menu and it's really clear. I was just stupid. So guys, don't be stupid, use the RAW function instead. It's much more better. And when you're using the RAW function, Samsung actually tells you to edit them in Lightroom, which is great because Lightroom is a great photo editor, right? Yeah, it is. So it's not for free, you need to pay for it, but well, if we're gonna do RAW, you need to pay for a little bit more. It's rhyming. If you want to do RAW, you have to pay more. All right, that's a bad one, but that's what happens. And I think it looks sublime even in JPEG. So compare it to the iPhone. I'm an iPhone guy. I always use iPhone because of the photo function, because they are great. Before I stepped onto this little brother here, which is more awesome than the iPhone actually. So one of those awesome things is the night shots actually. And when you're taking night shots with the iPhone, you need to hold it still and have it in a certain point and direction, and it tells you on the screen like hold this and blah blah blah, and you need to be there for a couple of seconds. It's kind of hard to keep your phone steady over 3 seconds. It's always shaky a little bit. iPhone solves it great because you have those guidelines, but with this phone it's 1 second. And it just say, hold the camera still please, and you push the button, boom, and there you go, and it's totally perfect. How come this becomes perfect? Because it's photo stacking. So it takes lots of pictures and put it together to one, and they feel the little pixels and replace the unsharp ones with the sharp ones, and yeah, and that's how it works inside the chips here. Well, I'm not a number guy. This is ridiculous. It makes a picture sharp, all right? Let's stick to that. Take lots of pictures, make them to one, and that's why it keeps it sharp. We can dig into this more, but there are other vloggers out there that does it much better than me. Believe me. Yeah, you can search on them here on YouTube and like putting in like technical stuff, Samsung Galaxy S23, and you get tons of geeks like me, but they're talking about numbers. I'm talking about the function. All right, so we have differences. The night shot with this one is awesome. It's really fun to do, and you should do it too. That's my suggestion. So actually my first shot with this phone was a night shot because I got it in the evening and it's dark outside here like around 2 o'clock. So well, it's a dark country actually, so night shots becomes natural. But the main reason for this phone is the 8K. 8K is so great. I love when it boosts up things and it's really boosted. 8K is not like the real 8K, but it's 8K enough for a phone. Believe me, I filmed everything in 8K. You can see the films here. And those films you watched them maybe in 4K, not in 8K, because I didn't publish them in 8K. And how come? Why is 8K anything at all if you can't use it? You can use it in your LG TV, for example. They have 8K. But if you don't have an LG or anything else that can
play 8K is useless, right? No, not really. It's really useful because you get more crispness and more details into the picture. When you compress it to 4K, like the movie you just watched, you have all the details there and becomes crispier, right? The discussion was going on for 4K a couple of years ago, which also makes you think like, we just got 4K, now we have 8K faster than the step from 1080 went to 4K took forever, and the step from 4K to 8K took like a couple of years just. Do we exchange information with aliens, maybe? I don't know. That's another tin hat discussion we can have in another channel. Anyways, let's stick to the 8K. You can do 8K in 24p or in 30p. Depends on what you like. I like 24 because 24 looks more filmish, kind of. Yeah, I usually do everything in 24 because I like it more. When you film those big files and you try to upload them in a crappy computer, which I use called MacBook Pro with 16GB RAM, it collapses. Boom, it dies. Those files chokes my computer. That's how it works. Premiere can't do it. It's so glitchy that I want to throw out the computer through the window. The solution for me was like, convert them to 4K, from 4K to proxies, then edit. Then it works great. That's what my computer can handle with 16GB RAM, even though if they suggest for Premiere use 32 minimum. Alright, I hear you guys, but usually I can use those 16GB of RAM to edit 4K movies without any problem. But 8K, no way, no way. So that's what you need to think of if you're gonna do 8K. If you're gonna edit them in your computer, you need to convert it, everything down, down, down. You can't do it in 8K if you have a low-class computer like mine. Think the color profile from Samsung, which displays on the display, is not the same as the file you download from the phone. It's actually more neutral, the one that you download. Or is it a screen on the Samsung that actually makes it look so oversaturated? Because the files I got out from it was really nice. There was kind of natural look of them. It was not like oversaturated at all. And Samsung used to put in a little bit more greenish tone to it than, for example, iPhone that has more of a candela tone, more warmer tone into it. So there are differences in the color language, so to speaking, between those two units. But the raw file straight out of the phone to my computer looks really good. It does, and it's editable. Even though if it's missing log. That would be so nice if Samsung just added log into this one. At least vlog. It would be great to have like a log. They have everything done, like the software for filming is great. It looks like Filmic Pro all over. It's a really, really good function. Everything is sublime. But they're missing like log. And we are creators, and we like to have those functions actually. So Samsung need to think about that when they're creating a camera with a phone function into it, which is actually made for us creators like you, me. So a log, yeah. But without the log you will not die. You can use the phone. Anyways, you can use not only the phone but also the camera function and the video function, which is surprisingly good, and it knocked me off. It knocked me so good that I'm convinced that Samsung is the new iPhone for me. You can say that, right? It's the new iPhone. I don't think Apple like me to say that, but well, I will jump from iPhone to Samsung because Samsung really convinced me that their stuff really rocking it. It's so good. I'm not paid to rave, I'm just sharing. If you go out like today when you saw me vlogging outside, you need to have a ridiculous shutter speed, like 500 or so. That's too much. So you need to have an ND filter applied on it, and you can get that with Beast Grip, for example. They make those and you have this filter around the whole camera. Works great, really good stuff. I'm not paid to rave, and they are expensive as well. So I didn't afford that. So I bought this one from Amazon. It's not luxury, but it works. It's good with the handles. You can put it on a tripod, and you can also put lights here and yeah, some other light here or whatever you like to. And you can use this one. It's better to have the grip. It doesn't look luxury, it doesn't look sublime, it doesn't look pro, but it does its job, besides the filter issue. So if you're hitting for filming seriously with this one, buy filters, an ND, at least an ND8 you need to have. If you can have like a versatile filter that you can switch and screw, that's even better, but well, a filter, it's needed. The format you can take with this one, it's UHD, FHD and 8K. You can only film in FHD 120, not in UHD. UHD you can go up to 60, but in FHD you can do 120, which means slow motion. Kind of slow motion, slow-mo-ish. We can say slow-mo-ish. They had super slow-mo before, but super slow-mo is really bad resolution. So, well, don't even go there. It's useless. Who would like to see something go like, I don't know. It's not the best option to use a mobile camera for that. But 120 is cool. It's FHD, which means not better than the UHD. It's a step under it, but it works. The screen on this one, which is also another thing that needs to be good if you're going to use this one as a camera, which means it's a fast screen, and it looks so nice when you scroll everything. It actually moves so smooth. It's so nice. It's so nice. It's a big screen too. This one is a little bit bigger than the iPhone. I think it's like 2 centimeters or so bigger. Could be a little bit less than that, but around. Battery time, I haven't run out the battery yet. I've been filming like the half of a day. I guess the battery time is forever. I don't know, you have to look it up. It's always a hustle with the battery time because it's always about the best of the worlds. I mean -5 Celsius outside, the battery time will not last that long, and if I'm using the film function and going around, it will actually be even worse. So the battery time depends on so much things, but well, give it a day of filming then. Another thing that is really cool with this one is the pan. You have the pan here, it was also in the 22 model. And why is the pan good? Because when you are filming or taking pictures in RAW, you like to color correct it. Then the pen is really helpful, because if you go with your big baby fingers across the screen, you will touch everything else besides the things that you would like to touch. Speaking of from my own experience here of trying to edit pictures with my fingers, it's always smudging around everywhere, and it's not the best. So with that said, guys, this phone is really made for creators. It is. And if you are a video creator or a vlogger or blogger or whatever you do, and you like to have a phone that actually is a camera that works great, this is the one you need to consider to buy before the iPhone, to be honest. I will ditch the iPhone to this one, and I'm an iPhone guy. Do you know how much effort it takes to convince me that Samsung actually nailed it? It took an S23 to do that. Film function, photo function, the overall experience of it, the sustainability, the screen, the pen, the price, everything makes me... It's just the best, guys. I can't find words. It's just the best. I'm so convinced that Samsung actually rocked the show this time. This is a rocker. This is a monster. This is a Samsung S23. So good. So good. Someone told me that the camera actually is a hero function. Hero function? Never heard it before. Yeah, but it's true. It's a hero function. It actually makes this phone to be something else than a phone. This is a camera, and you can do lots of cool stuff with this camera. So great quality. But be aware, the 8K will kill your computer. The people that said this phone is bad have really lost their mind, or they're just addicted to iPhones. They are not a reliable source, believe me. And I'm an iPhone guy that raves about the Samsung. Well, you should believe me. It's great. It is great. It's great. Yeah, it's great. Alright guys, that's it from me. You can subscribe and like my channel here, or jump into my Instagram. I'm Leon Official. That's it. Peace, arrivederci, I'm out.